Hey you guys, what is up? It is Drew and we're back with another video. Today we're going to be installing the JLT cold air big air intake. So like I said, we're going to be changing out this air box that comes with the Roush Phase 1 kit, and we're going to be replacing it with the JLT big air cold air intake. And let me just show you what it looks like. Alright, so now flipping over here, show you the box. Let's try to get some of this. Let's try to get some of this trash out. So here we got the, I believe it is 120 millimeter size cold air intake. So that's gonna be going over there. And then already kind of got this open just so it's easier to unbox. But here is the red oil filter. It's already oiled up and everything, so it should be just plug and play. Obviously we'll need to tune this just because it is going to be obviously a lot more free flowing now, but for the time being we're just going to be doing the installation for this video. Now we got the nice little heat shield or heat shroud, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be bolted in, replacing the air box that is currently on with the Roush one. And just got some of the couplers and rubber seals, everything like that. Let's see what else we got. So it looks like we got a nice little sticker, I guess to, I don't know, identify it, make sure, I guess it's carb legal. I guess you can put that on the car or whatever. Got some stickers. Let's see. So we got the instruction manual right here. Here we go. Step 1. Obviously it's pretty simple. It's just transferring all the sensors and hoses onto this system right here. So it should be fairly easy. Just gotta, so this is actually a little interesting right here. So JLT air diffuser, depending on mods, tune, regardless, some cars experience sluggish stalling from too much air blowing. So I guess this is like an air restrictor. I'll see where it goes in the instruction manual, but everything should be very simple. It is honestly a plug and play installation. But so you can see here, this is the Roush air box that comes with the Roush Phase 1 kit. Now what this does is, obviously it has this nice little tube here, so it does induct some nice cold air, but it is a little more restrictive. And in terms of once I want to pulley down and get bigger injectors, it will be starting to restrict some of the airflow. So that is why I got the JLT big air cold air intake instead of going with the Roush Phase 3 kit, or the Phase 2 kit, my bad, that comes with their cold air intake, because it is slightly a bit smaller. So if I ever want to go to higher horsepower numbers above 675, I will eventually have to get the JLT cold air intake. And plus, I honestly think it looks a lot more better, in my opinion. It doesn't have all the nice little, I don't know what these are called, just flex points. It's more of a straight through design. So you can see airflow is not as restricted. It is nice and straight there. So it should allow for a lot more better horsepower gains, especially with the long tube headers that are already installed on the car. So let's just go on and get on with this process. The first step that we're going to be doing right now is just going to be removing the strut tower brace. Now that honestly is probably not that necessary, but I'm just doing it just so I get a better clearance and just more room when it comes to removing the whole closed air box intake system, and with installing the brand new JLT cold air intake. Now that I finally removed the strut tower brace, one thing I did do was disconnect the battery, just because I am going to be working with disconnecting some of these sensors and everything, and hoses, all things like that. So I just want to make sure that, you know, everything, you know, nothing gets messed up or anything like that when it comes to removing any sensors. Now just continue with the whole process. It's fairly easy. One thing that I will have to do with modifying this cold air intake system is, you can see here I got a sound tube for the Supercharger, which is quite frankly kind of useless now because of how loud the exhaust is. You can't even hear it. But I will have to drill a hole, just like how I did right here on the bottom end of the JLT big air cold air intake system, just so I could still retain this sound tube that I got. So we'll have to do a little modifications to that tube, but besides that, it should be very simple. Just gotta loosen up these clamps right here and everything should come off, and I just gotta unbolt that little bolt, which I believe is a 13mm, and it should be very simple. After that, I'll show you guys how it looks like once everything's all disassembled. Finally got everything all disconnected. Got this bolt right here. I'm just gonna leave it right there just so don't lose it. So this is the sound tube that I was talking about that I will have to make a hole in this intake. I'm just gonna do it on the bottom side so you can't see it. But now we're gonna just grab this heat shield, and what I do like about this design is it has this nice little tube right here, which just integrates with the factory air intake system. If you guys didn't know, this car does come with this nice little like air tube or something like that. I'm not sure what you would call it, air intake system. And it's just gonna help right here with the fog light delete. You can kind of see through all the bugs right there. There's that tube there that goes right through here. It's a little easier to see when this covers off, but right here it still retains that, just like with the air box. So now we're just gonna put on this heat shroud right there and just bolt it up right there where it goes, and it should be very easy. But I will go back and make that modification to the whole JLT cold air intake just to retain the whole sound tube. So we finally got everything all pretty much set up. So you got this nice little rubber grommet or seal, you could say, with the clamps right there. So I already drilled out the hole for the sound tube. It's right there. I already put the nice little rubber grommet that comes in, and I just dropped my socket wrench down there. But it's very simple how this whole process goes. Obviously this slides in through here just like that. Got to connect the sound tube, and we're just gonna slide this over, tighten up those clamps, and just get that air filter, and just put it over here. And you can already see that it has a clamp on there, and we're just gonna clamp it down, and it should be honestly that simple. Obviously you still have to tune it and all that good stuff, but that's gonna honestly complete the whole installation. You got to put back the strut tower brace, but I'll show you guys how it goes. Just like that, already finished up the whole main installation with the JLT big air cold air intake. Obviously you have to tighten up the clamps, adjust everything, but I already got all the hoses, vacuum lines, got the sensors, everything plugged in, and everything looks nice and tight. Everything's looking good. Rerouted the sound tube, so it's now going in there. And obviously have to connect the battery, put back the strut tower brace, but after that it should honestly be very simple. I've already completed it. It took me about 30 minutes. So if you guys are looking to do this to, you know, your supercharge, whether if it's a Whipple, Roush, or VMP supercharger, I would definitely recommend it. It looks amazing just as is. Just look at how that looks. Yeah, it looks way better than the closed air box over there. In my opinion, they look, you know, they don't look as good as the nice red filter. But so we're gonna do all that and just show you guys how it is once it's up and running and how it sounds. Dog barking in the background, but so I got everything installed. Everything's good to go. I didn't install a tune just because tomorrow I'm going to be going to my tuner just to get it all tuned up and everything with the custom dyno tune, just because I did get the long tube headers. So if you're not going to go the custom tuning route, you do have to get a tune though if you are going to be putting this JLT big cold air intake. because right now, as driving it right now, just around, throttle response is obviously all messed up. Everything, obviously the acceleration is terrible. So if you do end up going with the JLT big air cooled air intake for a Whipple or Roush supercharger or VMP supercharger, you will be needing to actually get a custom tune or already have one tuned up in your SET tuner or something like that. So that is something that you will keep in mind, or will have to keep in mind. It was something that I didn't think I'd need, but you know, just after installing it and driving it around, it is something that you definitely need, just because you don't want to mess up anything internally in your engine. But besides that, everything sounds great, and I'm gonna see if I can get a couple sound clips just of revving the engine up a little bit, just to see if, you know, the supercharger intake noise has increased any bit. But here's just a couple video clips of that. So that wraps it up for me here with the whole JLT cold air big air intake system that I just installed. Hope you guys like it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. It'll be at the dyno tune. See, peace. Fuck, did I say CPs? See you, peace.